Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Akbar, and the rise of widespread negative attitudes toward U.S. foreign policy, especially following the war of aggression in Iraq and subsequent military occupation, has brought new attention to meaning and instrument of soft power. I want to describe this paper and to do it something for military Indonesian military. In this edit collection, at an outstanding lineup of contributor provides the most extensive discussion of the soft power of the today. Soft power, the first yeah, soft power is used of attraction and persuasive rather than the use of correction and force foreign policy. It arises from the attractiveness of country culture, political ideal and policies, whereas hard power develops and country military and economic might. Soft power has become past of popular political and discourse since it was coined by Harvard Jones 9. And this volume features brand new chapter by 9 outlining the huge purpose of hard and smart power and overtly critic and best administration inequities. He then goes on examine and challenge for President Barack Obama and the other contribution to volume respond to new views. This is for the research and development my institution and historical and policy perspective giving new insight in the bulk, soft power and the concept in itself. This is the most comprehensive and up-to-date analysis for the key concept is foreign affair and is essential reading the first scholar of U.S. foreign policy, public diplomacy and international relation and foreign policy analysis. This is for the examination in my teacher in the Indonesian University and is the professor government. He is the vice chair of the British International Studies Association, has published several books and there's current editor wrote this in the Studies and Foreign Policy series. Michael Chalks are in professor in the International Relationship Department, LELC UK, is the author numerous book and is several. The new series sets out the public high-quality work by leading and emerging scholar critically engineering and with U.S. foreign policy. The series will come the parity approach to the subject on the draw scholarship from international relationship and relation security studies, international political economy, foreign policy analysis and contemporary international history. I want to describe this PowerPoint. It is for examination me for maybe the concept for the cover include the role, administration and institution, the media, think tank, ideologies and intellectual elites, international corporation, military Indonesia and public opinion and pressure group in the shaping foreign policy. U.S. relation with individual nation, with global region and institution, and America involving strategies, military policies. What again? Maybe the series aim to provide, and then from individual research and methodology and analysis student. Maybe you can change the candidate new direction U.S. foreign policy. So after this, make it the second combination with the what they call it. I'm sorry. Wait a moment. And then the last, I want to thanks the contributor my job is still Tigger Lecture International Historical. So the Patrick Science Professor International Relation and the University Cambridge for 2004. He taught in the Department of International Relation and London School Economic and Political Science, where he was the Mountain War Professor. He was recent book. So it is the journal. I get journal for the Cambridge Gill Scott Smith. This is my senior researcher with the Roosevelt Study Center and associate professor in international relation at the Roosevelt Academy. But in the mailbox and uh, it is from the Asia Journal of American Studies. Sorry, and the Angus Trevor, specialist from international relations, political race, and strategic communication. He has been working and with government and organization in the Europe and the USA, the Middle East since 2004, and has been involved with the number of the project involving new analysts interpreting international medical perception and commentary on strategic issues and the influence political, diplomatic, and economic relation and region. Formerly, the utterly office of the British Army. This is the look at that my office and the situation for research and development. And the day you candidate the at Center International Studies. So, as ever, the editing of the book is the term effort with the depth accumulated many times over. Not only must we thank with the chapter author, we also always precious to possible to include the contribution from symposium in this volume. Talk that I'm certain to that first paper contribute the subtle ways to the same. A special thank you Craig Murphy and good friend and college for helping the track. So the comments were Manchester and without the funding and the sticker situation, of course, there is no way that have the cool wave the symposium that have the book for the graded all Center for International Politics and War and Peace lecture phone, and the event was the branch for the mass catalog and the Hart Research Group and American Power GAP. They helped to develop the idea to translate a successful occasion. It took 2 years of planning and organization. Specific thanks to Mark Lewich, and this is my commander, Mr. Uh, Colonel Afandi. And the books needs dedication, however, and not present the symposium of organization. My daughter, he brought this energy and not unlike the only after the deceased name. I want to appreciation for the my journal. It is the made by me and my family and instrument of sober power and the administration of president and is branch soft power is political more acceptable version smart power. It sounds a lot more attractive, especially critic military force becoming the staple of the Democratic Party opponent and foreign policies and the Jokowi president. So this was for Indonesian system, and I want to have the several member in PSR leadership group were appointed of Barack Obama and his administration, including Dennis Blair. Tonight, soft power is the power abstraction to. It's differ to hard power, the ability and carrots and stick economic and military might to make other follow the will, but hard and soft power are important in war on terrorism. But attraction is much cheaper than coercion, and an asset that need to person nothing very about that. I think it's enough for the my describe for the saw about the my work in here in research development. Indonesia has been made the new variable, new new weapon, and then he this had led some interesting question which the following explore. But first, uh, what is the power? And five question that I have. What is power? How does it work? And how do we know it when we see it? What is the relationship between coercive power and authoritative power? Between power that is legitimate and that which the illegitimate? These questions are addressed in course of this following. This first substantive chapter is the keynote lecture, The Future of Soft Power in U.S. Foreign Policy, delivered by Joseph Nye at the Symposium May at 2018. It is around this lecture in the themes that is from highest, and in it Nye explained his notion of soft hard power, smart power, and over the critique of the Bush administration in the questions. He then goes on to examine the challenge for the U.S. president after November. This following section of the book consists of three chapters that carefully and critically lists of notion the soft power. Edward Locke chapter the soft power on strategy Zahar Ramos. So Naya's soft power, particularly its origin to develop, because he considered it instructive as to deeper meaning. They argues the the soft power concept is legendary understanding of power concepts. This is highly interesting, and I don't know about for the while, since soft power is clearly a new term for an old concept. Chapter 5, 6, and 7 consider the concept is on historical application. Geiger highly original chapter examine and the applicability. The suggest for American Marshall and other program designed to enhance the post-war uh, American Marshall. This is the impact of two soft power public diplomacy programs, and which they are suggestive of the important long cultural engagement and strategies of U.S. hegemony. So, I want to this conclusion is the how does the U.S. military exercise soft power or consider it useful in the war on terror and counterinsurgents? Is soft power effective aggressive work? The consent of the government is engineered by ruling class group and their allies, particularly by state, church, school, and party. Nevertheless, there is also strong notion, and the government have to be persuaded by to buy the land. To be have the stake in the outcome. If that the case, I nigh soft power compassion is propaganda is exercise is soft power. Are public and cultural diplomacy and or used public diplomacy and result failure of soft power. Clears and aggressive for the strategic communication and information campaign and the Middle East and Philip Taylor in connection with this information strategies in the broader war on terror. Clearly, soft power is exercised by a variety of state of other institutions, and the following two chapter deal in turn it with two example. Christopher Hill explore the politics and European Union soft power and aspect of power that is perhaps that UI hallmarks up to now, at least in chapter 11. Sogu Suzuki turned his attention the rising power of China. Finally, Joseph Nor respond to his admirers, critic, and interlocutor in the last chapter in the fitting that should be have the last word on the subject, the making volume unique. Most of the chapter above were considering during the symposium and subsequently rewriting the phrase debate is discussion. Thank you very much and for this my explain, and for if you have the question, please answer it or the writing this email my email I want to send you, and you have to be uh, learn about this math, and I want to describe about it. Thank you very much. See you.